Let me tell you the truth about running a fashion brand at 29. Although we've done 7 figures in sales and we've been seen all over celebrities and athletes and influencers, the brand's not where it can be, and it absolutely is not where I want it to be. And that doesn't mean that we're not doing well, but I hold ourselves to an extremely high standard, and I know that we can improve. One of the reasons the brand isn't where I want it to be is because I haven't done this. I haven't taken you guys behind the scenes and told the story of Carte Blanche. I've always kind of really enjoyed being more of a behind the scenes type of guy, but to be honest, by doing that, I'm just doing the brand a disservice. Really, I just want to be able to come on here and engage with the community more. I want to hear feedback on our products. I want to hear what you guys want to see from us as far as releases go. And outside of that, I know there's a lot of people that have clothing brands, or maybe people want to get started in clothing brands and they don't know how to get started. And there's just people that have businesses in general, and it's helpful to see behind the scenes of another founder and to realize that really none of us have a clue what's going on and we're all making a ton of mistakes. Now, if you're not familiar with our brand, and you're probably definitely not familiar with me, my name's Adam Wilbanks. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Carte Blanche, and we launched in August of 22. When we launched, we were inspired by a lot of modern brands, kind of like Kith and ALD. We also were super inspired by Ralph Lauren and kind of that vintage aesthetic feel. As of right now, we mainly make hats, hoodies, and t-shirts, but as we move into fall and winter of 2025 this year, we're gonna start doing cut and sew. I'm gonna share with you some of the massive mistakes we've made within the brand in the past 2 to 3 years, and to be honest with you, we've made almost every single mistake you can possibly make. But first off, I wanna show you how crazy it is that I'm even in this position. I grew up in Arkansas, and if you know anything about Arkansas, it's definitely not a fashion hub. And I would say in high school, there was probably nobody who would say that I was a fashion guy whatsoever. Now, I didn't necessarily wear, gym shorts every day to high school. I like to look good, but I definitely didn't have any true fashion sense. And I for sure did not know anything about the fashion world, and I didn't know anything about brands. What's even crazier is in high school, I was absolutely a math and science guy, and I would openly state that I'm not creative. I would tell people that I have no creative abilities and I have no interest in being creative. What's funny about that is flash forward 10 years, and now I run a fashion company, and you can probably see the instruments and stuff behind me, and I'm also a music producer. So because I grew up with basically no fashion sense, and because I grew up as a math and science guy and I wasn't creative at all, for a long time in the beginning of the brand as we started it and right after we launched, I had massive imposter syndrome. One thing that actually helped me get over that was studying Ralph Lauren. And when you think about a lot of the greats like Ralph Lauren and some of these brands, you just assume that, they were fashion empires their entire life and they were super creative and they were born into it. But in Ralph Lauren's case, that wasn't the truth. He's openly stated multiple times that he was not a fashion guy at all. He just simply built a brand around the life that he wanted to live, and that's exactly what I do now too. I moved to Colorado a couple years ago because of the EDM music I make and because of the mountains, and I snowboard all the time. I make music, I work on the brand, I work out, I run, and Carte Blanche is just a reflection of the life I live. So currently in the brand right now, we're working on our next release, and we call our releases exhibits. And right now we're on exhibit 13 and we're calling it Athletic Club. So this is gonna be one of the hats in Athletic Club. There's gonna be 5 hats, there's gonna be 4 shirts. My manufacturer actually just sent me a couple new samples. So I'm gonna go downstairs, I'm gonna hit a run, grab the samples, and I'll bring you with me. Okay, actually, so change of plans, gonna go hit a quick workout first. I'm going to support one of my boys tonight. He's playing an EDM show, and I thought I had to get out the door earlier than I thought, but have a little time to kill. So gonna go hit a workout real quick, gonna hit a quick run, and then we're gonna go pick up those samples. See what's up to Otis. Now, I would say the worst mistake that we've probably made just across the board is simply just not knowing our numbers. And to be honest, we were really bad about this in the beginning, and this holds true for all your numbers. It holds true for knowing what your profit is, for knowing your cash flow, for knowing how much money is in the bank, for knowing when you're going to run out of cash, for knowing what your margins are. If you don't know your numbers, eventually you're going to run into some very serious problems. The second biggest mistake that we've made is just ordering too much inventory. And sometimes you have a really good drop and things go well. Maybe you get a little greedy and you want to push it a little too much. and then you order too much. And when you're a bootstrap company, that can make things really, really difficult on you, because if you don't sell that inventory and you don't get that cash flow, it can put you in a really sticky spot. There's a time and a place to do things based off your gut instincts, and especially when you're doing a creative endeavor like building a brand, you need to use your gut. But this is another example of not knowing your numbers. We simply, one time in specific, ordered inventory purely based off our gut, purely just thinking like, man, wouldn't it be awesome if we sold that much this time? And it turned around and it screwed us. So again, it's very important to know your numbers in every single aspect of the business. It's important to follow your gut, but at the same time, you need to always play devil's advocate. And what I always tell people is it's better to leave money on the table than to push it too far. If you leave money on the table, at least you sell out quickly, or you sell through your inventory, you can reorder, you don't have cash flow issues. But if you order too much inventory and you try and push it too hard, although you're trying to do something good and you're trying to grow the brand, you're trying to push yourself as far as you can, in the long run, you're actually going to hurt yourself, and you're not going to grow the brand as much as you could have if you just would have ordered less inventory, sold through that, had the cash on hand to then reinvest and continue to grow the brand. Now, we've made a million more mistakes than just those, obviously, and I'll continue to share all those. And honestly, I make a mistake every single day, and every single time we do a drop or a product release or a photo shoot or designs, I mess something massive up and I have to learn from it. So I'll be sharing that stuff with you guys. But those are definitely two of the biggest things that have held us back the most. Then of course, the third one being what I mentioned at the beginning of the video is doing this, is just making content. I really wish since day one I documented the process. I really wish I went on YouTube and TikTok and all these platforms and was showing everyone behind the scenes, but it's never too late to start. So that's what we're doing here. When you make these types of mistakes and you feel like an idiot and you don't know if the brand's going to survive, of course it's scary at the time and it's pretty uncomfortable, but I think that's people's biggest problems is they're terrified of failing and they're terrified of messing up. And the truth is that's kind of where the beauty is. Like when you mess up and when you make these mistakes, that's when you get the opportunity to learn and to better yourself. And if you're ever going to learn anything at all, you're going to have to make mistakes. And the biggest problem I see people make is just not starting. I have no clue how to vlog or how to do behind the scenes. And the only way I'm going to get good at it is just doing it. It's just coming out here and doing it. And my second video is going to be better than my first video. And my fifth video is going to be better than my fourth video. And eventually you wake up one day and you've got a skill that you're pretty good at. The way that I've always viewed life is very short, and it's a lot shorter for some people than it is others. But even if you live a long life, go talk to anybody who's 80 or 90 years old and they say it flew by like that. The Bible literally says your life is just a vapor. So if you know your life is going to be short, if you know you literally could pass away at any moment like young people do all the time, why would you not do things? And it's because of that mindset. You know, I went from somebody who knew nothing about fashion. I always said I'm not creative. And I went from that to I produce music and I get to play EDM shows and I have a clothing brand. If you're not afraid to fail and you're willing to just try things, it's pretty incredible what you can create. Okay, I'm gonna go knock out a quick run. I don't typically run on the same days that I lift. I normally alternate those. But earlier this week, I did a Murph and I just destroyed my body. So I took a couple days off. So gonna get a run and lift in today. Haven't really ran in like 6 months. I think this is my fourth run back. Pretty much all winter long I snowboard, so I don't really run as much. But I came back, I did like a 2-mile run, a 5-mile run, and then I did the Murph, which is a couple miles. So tonight, just probably gonna run 1 mile since I have to be at that show, just get the legs stretched out. And then I'm gonna go pick up the samples and I'll show you guys those. Okay, so these are the new t-shirt samples that we just got back from the manufacturer. As of right now, we've always used Los Angeles Apparel t-shirts, and those are super high quality. I love those, but those are 220 or 230 GSM. I can't remember. And GSM basically means like the weight of the shirt, essentially. These are 280. So these definitely feel heavier. They feel incredible. Honestly, I think we're probably going to swap to these. This will be the first time that we've ever swapped shirts. Everything about them feels really high end. It's not super soft, which I don't love a super soft shirt. To me, a super soft shirt sometimes feels a little cheap, but the weight of these is just absolutely incredible. I'll go try one of these on and show you how it fits. Okay, so here's the fit. I would say it's almost an identical fit to Los Angeles Apparel. It's that kind of boxy fill with the drop shoulder on it. If anything, it's just slightly, just barely larger than Los Angeles Apparel. But one of the benefits, the only complaint that we ever get about our t-shirts is that the neck is too tight on the Los Angeles Apparel. And I do agree the neck's a little small. And this one fixes that problem. The neck's definitely a little bit wider. So Super heavyweight, feels extremely high end, almost the exact same fit, but I think we're probably gonna end up switching to these. Before I end this video, I want to share with you probably my favorite memory of the brand of all time. A lot of people look at the brand and they think, oh, once I have all the celebrities wearing it, once I hit 7 figures, and once I have sold out drops, and once I'm walking down the street and I see somebody in my hat, then it's going to be fun, but that's really not true. My favorite memory, honestly, ever was our first ever drop. And me and my business partner, Lewis, we've done e-commerce for a long time. We had some drop shipping stores, then we had some US-based stores, we had a marketing agency. And so we always knew that we wanted to start a clothing brand, and we thought about it for literally 2 years. We were waiting until the time was right, and we were waiting until we really felt like we'd come up with an idea that was strong enough to live, the next 20 or 30 years. So we've spent a lot of time thinking about this. We got our first samples in May of 2022, and we didn't drop finally until August of 2022. So we've been thinking about this for a couple years. It's something that we've dreamed about. We just spent all this time doing photo shoots and designs and months of iterations, and all this suspense is building up to this, and you finally get down to the moment of the drop. Now, of course, we had sold products online before, and we knew what that looked like and what that felt like and how to do that, but selling a product versus selling a brand is a completely different approach. So essentially, we had no idea what to expect. As we're kind of leading up to the drop, an email goes out, 4 hours before. Then an email and an SMS reminder goes out an hour before. We're all sitting there in the office. We're waiting 30 minutes to go. The website's done. We're checking everything. We're doing test checkouts. Honestly, my heart was beating pretty fast. I was a little bit nervous about it. 10 minutes to go. We see some people come on the website. 5 minutes to go. We see a couple people go on the website. 1 minute to go. A few more people come. We don't know if anybody's going to buy anything, to be honest. And right at the drop, the email goes out. The SMS goes out, and we're watching the live visitors on Shopify, and just out of nowhere, it just shoots up. And people start buying, and in that moment, I literally had to step out of the room for a second. I teared up a little bit. And like I said, by that point, we had already sold 7 figures worth of products and other brands online, but it was in that exact moment that I knew that we had something special here. So yes, seeing celebrities in it, or going to a Rockies game and running into somebody that's wearing your hat, or hopping on ESPN and seeing some athlete wearing your clothing, it's incredible. I love that feeling. It's amazing. I love everything that we do with the brand today, but there still has been no better feeling than the suspense of that, the passion building it, and then getting that confirmation that we truly had something special on our hands. Now, as we lead up to this next drop, which is probably going to land sometime right around July, Exhibit 13 Athletic Club, we're going to be doing a lot of photo shoots. We're going to be doing a lot of work on the email marketing and the SMS marketing and just marketing content in general. We're going to be finalizing designs. We're going to be finalizing different fabrics and different materials and different samples like I just kind of showed you. So I'm going to be bringing y'all along for the process the entire time and just kind of showing you my day-to-day, showing you what the brand looks like as we lead up to this. And then of course, after we do the drop, I'll be showing you the insides and outs. I'll be sharing with you what I think we really crushed this time. I'll be sharing with you what I really wish we would have done different. So I hope you all come along for the ride, and I hope I can inspire some of you, whether it's to start a brand or whether it's to make music or just go out and pursue something that you want to do. And if that's something that you want to be a part of, definitely subscribe, and I'll see you soon.